Welcome back to Mideast in Depth. Today our focus is on Turkey post the presidential election results. The Daily Telegraph View comments that the election result in Turkey shows again that democracy can function in Muslim countries. It states the high turnout, an impressive 86% of the electorate, is a clear indication that Turks have lost none of their enthusiasm for the democratic rule. The piece explains, indeed, one of the main reasons for the high turnout was to block President Recep Tayyip Erdogan from rewriting the constitution to enable the country to become a presidential republic. It points out that had Mr. Erdogan's Justice and Development Party won the two-thirds majority it sought, many feared he would return to the country to the type of authoritarian rule it experienced when the military was in power. However, it points out, with the AKP only securing 41% of the vote, a sharp fall from the almost 50% it achieved in 2011, a clear majority has declared to Mr. Erdogan that they are content with the country's constitutional arrangements, a message the Turkish leader would be well advised to take on board. The Telegraph concludes by stating that Turkey's democratic credentials have been boosted by the strong showing made by the pro-Kurdish People's Democratic Party. It now stands to gain as many as 80 seats, the first time the oppressed Kurdish minority has enjoyed parliamentary representation. The editorial of the New York Times states that the result of Sunday's election was a resounding rebuke for Mr. Erdogan, the first time in 13 years that his party has not had a majority and now faces the task of assembling a coalition government. The editorial states, the Turks made clear they would not allow President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, an increasingly authoritarian leader, to amass even more power, denying him a parliamentary majority while voting in significant numbers for a party representing the Kurdish minority. The editorial concedes that Mr. Erdogan once seemed to offer a different future in which his Islamist party would be an enlightened advocate for enhancing democracy as well as the rights of religious minorities in a Muslim-majority nation. Yet it states Mr. Erdogan has veered sharply off the democratic path, crushing efforts to challenge or limit his powers. He reacted with excessive force to peaceful protests in 2013 and was dogged by a corruption scandal. He mishandled regional issues. It adds his obsession with overthrowing President Bashar al-Assad of Syria caused him to allow jihadists to cross from Turkey into Syria to join the Islamic State, also known as ISIS or ISIL. It concludes stating that even if a coalition is formed, formidable challenges remain: a stalled economy, 2 million Syrian refugees living in camps within Turkey's borders, the Islamic State just over the horizon, Syria and Iraq, and troubled relationships with the Turkish Kurds and the West that need repairing. For more updates, please visit levant.tv. And subscribe to Mideast in Depth on iTunes. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.